everyone, and welcome to another episode of Be For Real. As you know, I'm your host, B, and here we talk for real about real life, real journeys to purpose, and real journeys to self-discovery. I am so excited for this episode today. This is a bit of a personal one for me, letting you know a little bit more about our family, the legacy of amazing members of our family on this very, very, very special episode. I have two guests today who you will get to know as Joni and Dodi Joyce, but who I know as my auntie and my uncle. Today, we are going to, for the first time ever, talk about the journey of a band that paved the way for music in Australia through the 80s and the 90s, and a legacy that continues to live on today. So I want to welcome my auntie and my uncle, Joni and Dodi, to the show. Welcome.
Hey,
welcome.
Good to be here. Thank you very much,
intro.
Bianca.
Thank you. It's easy when you speak about what you love. And this is such an exciting episode for me because, you know, we have two members of the band here, the two remaining members of the band, and two members who are no longer with us, my dad and my auntie Tessa. So to hear for the first time the legacy that is Jabulani is just such a special moment, not only for listeners who followed the band, for our family who haven't heard a lot of these stories. So thank you. Thank you so much for being here today.
Our pleasure.
So I guess I want to know, considering this has never been done, we've never really talked about the journey of Jabulani from its inception. Why now? Why do you feel like now is the time to share the journey?
Joni. Well, it just feels right. It feels this particular moment that it feels right to share our stories from the conception of the band, and just to talk about that whole period that we so much enjoyed.
Yeah.
And it just feels right at this time.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It does feel right. Yes, it does feel right.
Yeah.
So I guess I want to know, I'll start with you, Auntie Joni.
Yep.
Where did your love for music begin?
Always. Mum and Dad, they were the pioneers with that. I mean, there was always instruments at home. There was harmonicas. There was, what do you call that? Oh.
Accordion.
Harmonica. Yeah,
Harmonicas, guitars.
Guitar.
Dad played all of them. Mum sang, but she wasn't a serious singer. She'd sing a little bit and then she'd laugh and then, you know, she was a bit of a joker. But that's where we probably first started with music, venturing into music. And then my older sister Lucy would take us like the Von Trapp kids and put us in a line and put us through our paces, teaching us songs and how to harmonize. And she'd be very strict because she had a little baton. So if we went out of line, she was like...
That's how you learned your ears. That's how you got your ears.
She trained our ears to listen to each other singing. So I reckon that's where it started. Unbeknownst, that was the beginning.
And for you, Uncle Dodi, was it around a similar time or a similar experience?
Similar, yeah. So I remember when I was just a toddler, myself and your dad, we were the
twins.
the time actually
Dodi
call
trained
us the
vocals
twins.
with screaming.
Yeah. And because Mum and Dad were they used to entertain a lot. We used to have a lot of social gatherings, so different groups used to come in and out. And almost guaranteed at some point someone's going to either pull out a guitar and everybody's going to sing. So from a very young age, that was the norm. You know, every weekend there was some gathering, some social event, and there'll be singing of some kind.
Yeah.
So we grew up with that tradition in the family.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for me, that was sort of the beginning.
Yeah. And your beginning began not in Australia, but in South Africa. So what was the music culture like as you were growing up in South Africa? What was it kind of for you that started your journey in SA in music?
Oh my gosh. We listened to everything, every genre in South Africa. There wasn't, I remember in my teens listening to Black Sabbath, Uriah Heep, the Rolling Stones, but then there was also Motown. There was a lot of Motown, and then Mum and Dad really loved country music, like Dolly Parton and stuff like that. Like, so it was very eclectic, the music that we listened to, but then as you grow up, you make your choice.
Yeah.
And so R&B was the thing.
Yeah. Was your love?
So we loved it, but our music base was very eclectic. Like, we listened to everything. I still listen to a lot of rock music.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise. Good music is good music.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter what genre it is.
Absolutely.
But if it's good, it's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking about the family and a musical family, you are a big family. We are a big family. 11 siblings, 11 children.
Total.
Yeah, in total. Were you all musically gifted or interested in music in the same way, Uncle Dads?
Well, yeah, when we were growing up, I remember Mary singing.
Yeah.
So they used to
School
have the band.
concerts, yeah.
Yeah,
School concerts.
the school concerts. So I remember that, and also when they had the Scarab, the band.
Yeah.
So that band was sort of featured quite a bit in our young days because we used to watch them rehearse. They used to rehearse in the shed, and so I do remember my older siblings very involved in music from a fairly early age. They may have been teenagers at the time, and yeah. So that for me, I'm not sure about Lucy and Anna. That you would probably know
Because
more.
you're a lot younger.
Yeah, but I recall from Meg's,
Yeah.
Tess, Bernie, and yourself and James.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very musical family.
yeah.
So there were 4 of you in this band. Yourselves, Auntie Tessa, and my dad, Abby Joyce. Did you always have an affinity for music between the 4 of you? Were you always singing together, the 4 of you? Or was it 2 of you and 2 of you and you just decided to come together?
Yeah, we had different bands. So when I first joined Third Dimension,
Yeah.
I think you guys were really playing with the Cheyennes,
Yeah.
or you had Inseparable, and then.
The band names, I mean.
So we had different groups.
Yeah.
Well, we seldom sang together
Yeah.
in a professional manner, but we had all these different groups. So whether it was Tess, Joni, and Bernie, myself, and James, and Abby, your dad, our group was called Exclusive.
Oh, exclusive. Okay. Yeah.
And that's your Uncle James that came up with that.
Thanks, Uncle James. Shout out to you.
Yeah, so it was only when we came to, I don't sort of jump forward, when we came to Australia, it's the first time that we actually sang in the same band all together.
Yeah.
But in South Africa, we had all different groups, mainly vocal groups.
Yeah. So when did the family relocate? When did you come to Australia? Because you all came one after the other, right? Beginning with Auntie Tessa and Uncle Mutz.
Yeah,
that's
were the
right.
first to come down. And did everyone follow suit soon after? Did you all come within years of each other? When did you all arrive?
It was like it almost was a natural progression because Tess had a best friend that she went to school with, and she moved to Australia with her family, and they became pen pals, and they'd write back and forth. And then a really good friend of ours as well, who became an excellent boxer, Blakely Matthews, he moved to Australia as well. And just the stuff, the correspondence between, the 3 of them kind of sowed the seed, I think, for Tess and Mati. And they were brave and fearless and young.
Yeah. And
it sounded like a good adventure. So that's how we ended up here.
Yeah. And when was it? Was it 80s, 70s?
It was early 80s.
Yeah.
Very early 80s because at that time, obviously, we're talking about the apartheid era.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of uprising. The violence started escalating.
In South Africa?
in South Africa.
South Africa.
And it became a thought, hey, you know, a safe place, maybe. And then there was
Yeah,
a thought. And
Dad was
Australia-
quite nervous.
Yeah.
The fact that we were growing up in that, you
Yeah.
know, that era,
Yeah.
and Tiny, your dad, were kind of getting politically involved in certain things.
Which all the kids of that
Yeah.
age were.
We're willing
kind
to
of-
stand up.
And Dad
Real
used to
rise
get
up.
nervous. He didn't, even though he supported the struggle, he was concerned of what the outcome would be. It was getting closer and closer to Durban. It started in Johannesburg, Soweto to Cape Town, but it was getting closer to
Yeah.
Durban.
Where you all were living.
And the boycott started, and the rallies, and
Yeah.
you know, started getting a bit concerned.
And the police were.
Yeah. So I think Dad and Mum had made up their mind that
It was time.
we need
Yeah.
to relocate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how lucky were you both to have all your family come? Like, all this, your siblings and stuff, Auntie Bernie in New Zealand.
Yeah.
But to have so many of your family
Yeah.
come over to Australia, we're very lucky. That's why there's 110 of us here now. Thanks, guys. So when you came to Australia, what was it like for you all adjusting to the music culture here at that time? Considering you had come from such a, amazing cultural music experience in South Africa, what was the shift to Australia? Did you see there was a gap in the music industry here, or the music scene? What was it like for you both?
It was different.
It was different.
Yeah.
It was different, but a good different. Only because Tess used to send us a lot of music videos from what they were showing here in Australia. And we're like, oh my gosh, that's really good. This is like music that we loved. And, so when we got here, that's what we expected.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really like that. This was just stuff that was on TV, right? So there was that little area where there was no actual bands that you could go, that were accessible, that you could go. These people were playing on TV and in studios and things like that. And that little seed was born.
The live music
The
scene.
live music.
It needed y'all. It needed y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Tess sort of,
She was the driving force.
she was the driving force, and she could see that the music scene needed something different, something more African oriented, black music, live show with the full energy.
Yeah.
So she had that concept, and she knew exactly what she wanted to do. We were in her plans while we were still in South Africa.
Oh,
She
yeah.
had already worked it out.
Oh, yeah.
This is what you wanted. This is
Yep.
what you're going to do. Abby's going to be the lead singer.
Yep.
We'll back him up.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be the drummer because I was playing drums in South Africa. But when we got here, the Bert,
Yeah.
who had the venue that we could rehearse in, and he was the drummer, and he said, well, you can use my venue as long as I play drums.
So
Yeah.
then your vocal scene
So I had
was
to be-
born already.
That's how I started playing percussion, so but it was very
Amazing.
exciting.
So Auntie Tess really had a plan from before you all moved down to inject some cultural life into the music scene here in Australia.
Absolutely.
Which is so desperately needed, especially in the 80s and 90s. So I guess my next question for you both is, were you all on board with starting the band, or did some of you have any resistance? Did you need convincing, or were you all just saying, yes, let's do this, 4 of us, let's start this band together?
I was always a reluctant singer.
Yeah, yeah.
Always. I don't know why.
Yeah, no.
I've always needed more work. I don't really like more convincing. Come on.
And
do
I'll just
it.
say my auntie is an absolutely incredible singer, everyone. I will link some videos
wish.
to YouTube, but an amazing singer. So you always needed some prompting,
Always
some
needed, because I
encouragement.
was shy.
Yeah.
I was a shy kid. I just couldn't imagine myself. The same when we started the group at home.
Yeah.
Like, if you see any pictures or video of us back then, I was like, terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, no, she's Tess sold it to us.
Oh,
I remember
she sold us
sitting
the dream.
myself and Abby down, telling us her vision. This is what we want. You
Yeah.
guys are we're going to have the best time. We're going to get musicians. We're going to rehearse.
Yep.
We're going to put ourselves out there. It's going to be great. So, Abby, you in? I said, yes. I said, okay.
So what was my dad like at that time? Was he looking for some opportunities like that? Was he just because he loved music so much? Was he
Oh,
just
yeah.
always wanting to sing and share the talent? Was he
Yep.
was he
Absolutely.
just 100% in from the beginning?
Your father was 100% in because that's what he used to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
He would sing at the drop of a hat, as you know.
Yep. Yep.
So when we came to Australia, the very first day that we met at Tessa's place, because we all landed, picked up, went to Tessa and Marty's place in Denver Crescent, and the singing started
Oh, amazing.
straight away. There were other people that had come to welcome us from
Yeah.
the South African community. And so it was from there.
And people just
And-
wanted to hear you
Yeah.
sing.
Yeah.
He was extremely talented. And he loved to sing. You didn't have to prompt him,
Yeah, he did
drag
love it.
him. He just wanted to sing.
Yeah. We always said it was his fourth child music because he loved music as much as I think he loved.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know
Loved us.
whether, sorry, Bianca, I don't know whether he wanted, what was his concept. I know that he would have done something irrespective of whether we had
Yeah.
a band or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that just gave him an opportunity because he did want to sing with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it just sort of fell into place so nicely, the whole thing. But yeah, he was extremely talented and a natural front singer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just natural. You just had that.
Always.
It's hard to find, but he
Yeah,
had it.
he did have it. And Auntie Tessa as well. Did she love singing just as much, or was she more looking forward to having this time with y'all as siblings? Was it more that for her, as well as injecting the music into the Melbourne scene?
Yeah, I think it was a combination of
Of
both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She wanted to be part of something with us, but she also wanted to present the family
yeah,
in a certain way musically
yeah.
Yeah.
to the public. And yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
great.
So why the name? Who chose the name Jabulani? Who chose it?
That's okay.
We can't quite remember. It kind of happened organically, I think. We were just...
Yeah. I know that
Sitting-
we had
sitting
that
as
sit
we-
down where we were talking about what do we
Yeah.
call ourselves. And
Yeah. There was that song in South Africa by PJ Powers that was really popular and Tess loved it.
it was called Jabulani.
Jabulani was the name of the song and it was huge.
And what does it
in
mean?
the 80s.
What does Jabulani mean?
Happiness, joy.
Positive stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
positive stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that was also a good selling point because
Yeah.
when we found out what the meaning of the word was, it sort of fitted our
Absolutely.
characters,
Yeah.
our personalities, what we wanted to portray in live music. So I think it was
Yeah.
well
A lot
chosen.
of joy and happiness.
Yeah, whether it was your dad or Tess that came up with it, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. So you're in Melbourne now. It's the 80s. You'll arrive. The music starts. How was the band embraced by the Australian community? Because Australia's got its own issues with discrimination and racism, and I'm sure it was rife at that time, and being the 80s. Was the band embraced, or did you find that at times there was some discriminatory experiences that you had as well?
I know that we were embraced by our fellow South Africans.
That's right.
That
By
were
the-
there. So
the
they
black- and
And
sort
the
of
other
took it.
ethnic...
Yeah.
When we started getting those gigs that we had to travel to different parts of Melbourne,
One-horse
different
towns.
clubs, one-horse towns, yeah, a few
Yeah.
things here and there, nothing too overt. We came across as a very interesting concept to
Yeah.
them, more than anything else. Because you'd go to a pub, you play in this pub, and you'd be lucky to find a tan person.
No people of color there.
No.
No people of color.
Yeah.
So that was we didn't know how we were going to be received.
Yeah.
We learnt about Australia when we arrived in Australia. We
Yeah.
had no
Yeah.
concept of what the country was like. We knew it was a big, large white population. So that was different. We
Yeah.
were used to seeing people that look like us
Absolutely,
in South Africa.
absolutely.
So it was different, but I think it was overall positive.
Yeah.
We were accepted. Yes, you can, the odd occasion, getting our concept out there. Yeah, it
It was challenging at times.
was challenging.
But again, to be embraced by, people of color here, fellow South Africans who had probably missed that music in
Yeah.
being in Australia without a band like yours, I feel like you brought a lot to the culture at that time. I mean, there's still people that come up to me to this day talking about the impact y'all had on them. So I feel like it's such a pivotal thing to acknowledge that y'all paved a really big way for the culture in the 80s in Melbourne, Australia. So you're here now, the band's starting. What was it like for your first few gigs? Was it fun? Was it nerve-wracking? Did y'all just have a party up there? Like, how was it before y'all got into y'all's flow?
It was exciting.
It was exciting.
Yeah.
But
nerves.
yeah, nerves were there because we weren't sure that people would turn up to see the band. When you're starting and nobody has a clue about what you do, we knew that it was going to take a few months to get our stuff out there and for people to notice us. So in that time, we started off slow. It was slow, but again, we had a lot of support from our South African community in general. I mean, Randy and Jaroots, the band that was here already, they used to come check out our gigs, just support us in general. So, the first few gigs were hard.
Playing
People
to
didn't
5
want
people.
to pay us.
Yeah.
So we went through all that because we went. Mati was.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah, Mati was the manager.
Shout out to Uncle Muddy, the manager.
Yeah. So,
Shout out
but
to you.
everything was new. We were all doing this for the first time as a group. Mati had no managerial experience. This was his first one. He wanted to do it, but there was a learning thing along the way. So we got stung a few times leading up, but eventually we got our act together. We knew that we needed to have signed contracts and stuff like that,
Yep.
We had a good relationship with our musicians. Once we became a lot more well-known, we got better quality musicians as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So, it was a growing, it grew.
Yeah, everyone grew together, it seems.
Yeah.
It grew quickly.
It did happen quite quickly.
Quicker than we expected.
So knowing that you were growing together, what was it like being siblings and having challenges and learning and stuff together? Was it something that united y'all? Did y'all have to find y'all's feet as siblings in this space? Or do you feel like, your bond was really strong and you kind of guided each other through? So what was it like for you and to Joni?
For me, it definitely brought me and Tess closer as sisters. And obviously with the boys, that bond was really, really strong. I mean, just the joy of singing together and being together in this unique experience for us. It put us into this little bubble. Even though we were part of a big family, the 4 of us had this connection.
For sure. It was different.
That was just amazing. It was different. It was fun. It was exciting. And it was challenging sometimes because obviously I had 100 babies. Wow, all of that was going on. But the best experience. Yeah. Really.
Y'all grew up and y'all grew in music at the same time. Yeah. Y'all became parents. I know my dad left a gig to come to our birth. So like y'all were growing up and y'all were growing musically as well. So Uncle Doze, what was it like for you and my dad and your brotherhood, knowing that you were both evolving, you're becoming fathers, both to twins, mind you. So how was it for your bond through that period of growth musically and growth personally?
Definitely grew. Our relationship grew very strong. We did everything together. We had common friends outside of the band. So where you see me, Abby would be there, or vice versa. So we did a lot together, and it helped us to bond. Sure, we used to get stuck into each other.
Yeah,
So
brothers do.
as
Yeah.
we do, right? But he would make up easy. Your dad just had that.
Yeah, he never held
Have a
grudge.
bit of an argument
Yeah.
here, and then the next minute he's embracing you.
Yeah.
You know, so it helped our relationship and that comfort of having him, because I was always dependent on him even growing up, because he had such a bubbly personality. I'd push him forward. You go and you talk. So he had that. So he was my comfort blanket type
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
So we had no issues coming here to Australia and having that journey. With him by my side, I knew that it's all going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was. I mean, it was great. Y'all did a great job. So Jabulani is now well known. You're gigging at some residencies, which we'll get into shortly. Did y'all all want it to keep growing, or did some of y'all think I'm kind of cool if it stays super chill, or did y'all all have the same vision for where you wanted it to go?
I think because at this point, Mati had gone from being one of the band members as we got more busy, and we needed somebody to actually be our mouthpiece and do all of that, do the negotiations and stuff like that. He then became our manager.
Yeah.
Tessa's husband, but our manager. And he did an amazing job. I mean, he got us some really, really good deals. He was really good like that. He was really firm, and he knew what he wanted for us. He knew what was fair. And we left a lot of those one-hit towns that we started at, and we got better and better gigs.
Yeah.
But at that point, for me, I never looked beyond that.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be honest,
You were happy to just.
I was
be
just
gigging.
happy doing that.
Yeah.
Possibly because I was a new mum with small kids. I didn't have.
Yeah.
I didn't think further than that.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
It was just fun, and it was good money.
Yeah.
And that was it.
And for you, Uncle Doze, did you want it to grow, or were you kind of content with after leaving the one-horse towns, were you kind of content with just the gigging phase?
Yeah, I wanted it to whatever was going to happen organically or naturally. Whether we made it or not, I was easy with it. We all had our day jobs, so we were working during the day, rehearsing and playing in the evenings. But we didn't, talking about for myself, I was going to accept whatever came.
Sure.
Right? If there was a chance that we were going to get bigger, sure, I'll go with that journey. If it was just a club scene, playing a live show here and there, I was good with that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was rewarding financially, especially when we got better at what we were doing. I think the turning point was when we did that first TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that sort of
Skyrocketed.
yeah.
So leading up to the TV show, you all had a few residencies. So some of the residencies included the Grain Store,
Billboard
nightclub. Were there other residencies that y'all did that listeners would remember, taking them down memory lane?
Warehouse,
Yeah.
Top H,
Top H, yeah.
Wall Street.
Yes. 243 was our first.
243.
It was a reggae club. 243.
So if you were at any of those shows, comment, let us know where you were, and let us know a memory from that time, because I always get comments from people whenever they know I'm Abby's daughter about the Grain Store days and the band, and there's some really good videos on YouTube as well of that era.
Yeah.
So you've got the residencies and the TV gigs start to roll in.
That's right.
So what was the first show? Was it like a Good Morning show, or was it? Do you remember what it was?
Could have been the Ray Martin.
Ray Martin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they had that. Was it that?
Oh, that Hey It's Saturday.
Yes, Hey Saturday
It
with
might
the
have been
puppet.
Hey It's Saturday. With
Could have been Hey It's Saturday. Yeah.
Called it a duck.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was it?
Hey Saturday. Talk about a throwback. What a throwback time.
Yeah.
What was
Yeah,
that
that was the
like?
first
Your first TV gig?
That was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was crazy.
We had actually done that album or that song, the Kalimba Want My Love 12-inch.
Yeah.
before, and that sort of qualified us because you had to be a recording artist before you
So
got
you
on the
had
show.
yours vinyl. So they actually had a vinyl, guys, which is
Yeah.
what my uncle's talking about. So was it one song, "Want My Love"?
Yeah.
You Want My Love, and then on the B side was Kalimba.
Kalimba,
Yeah.
which is also on YouTube. I will link it in the description. So that was yours first vinyl. What was it like making a vinyl in the studio?
Absolutely.
fun.
We dreamed of being in a studio.
And Peter Couples was part of the driving force behind
That's
it.
right.
And
Shout out, Peter.
he was a big talent and good songwriter at that time in Australia. We kind of piggybacked on him. From meeting him, a lot of that television exposure came.
Yeah, he had all the connections
He had-
because we
yeah,
went to
definitely.
record in that studio in Ringwood.
Yeah,
That's where we did that.
yeah,
And
Beautiful
that was
setting.
John Farnham's studio that he
Yeah.
used to use. So we started rubbing shoulders with very, prominent, influential people.
And that's going to be my next question, actually, talking about John Farnham, was you guys have had some epic moments with some greats, like Stevie Wonder. I remember my dad when Chaka Khan came down, he was with the guitarist and her singing along. So what are some of the greats that y'all were able to connect with musically? Did someone write for you? Did you write for people? Or was it all just like Stevie Wonder coming to the house, singing along? What are some of the greats that you'll remember?
It started,
connecting with?
was it Grain Store Tavern?
Grain Store, he came in.
Because they were
touring.
showing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
Yes. Apparently, it was out there that when you tour Australia or Melbourne,
You got to check out
you
this
have
band.
to check
This
out this
African
band called Jabulani.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So they used to come, all these musicians used to come to our gigs while we were playing, and I think the first one was Grain Store. And I mean,
Stevie's Musos came down.
Stevie's Musos, your dad was on his game,
They had
and so they wanted to meet us after the gig, and we all sort of sat like we're sitting now in a circle, and we just had a fun time.
yeah.
So I think that was
The pinnacle.
the biggest, that when that sort of started, and then Chaka Khan,
Yeah.
Whitney Houston's band,
Yeah.
Earth,
Michael
Wind and
Jackson's
Fire.
band.
Earth, Wind and Fire walked in at
Yeah.
the record club,
Yeah.
and then the lights went off. Our power, could not believe it.
Earth, Wind and Fire, Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, Chaka Khan. What an epic time to be Jabulani.
Absolutely.
And all just
Time to
because
be
you were
alive.
loving it. You were just
Yeah.
loving it. You were doing what you love to do together. And you were sharing your gift with people. And people wanted to see y'all. Like, what an amazing time.
It was amazing.
We were getting a lot of the support gigs as well.
Oh, yeah,
For-
like
for
the
bands
opening
like Kool and the Gang,
Yep.
Yeah.
sort of
that was-
opening
that
for them.
was
So
epic.
once
Yeah.
that started, we knew things were sort of getting serious, as it's moving.
Yeah.
And yeah,
So you've got Whitney, Michael's band, you got Stevie Wonder, you're opening for Kool and the Gang. When that was happening, did you become more of a studio focused band? Were you all releasing more music? You all did a music video for Shine Your Light. Was that all off the back of that growth? Did you all start becoming more out there with music videos and vinyls, or how did that progress?
yeah.
Yeah. It was like a natural progression.
It was a natural. We didn't realize it at the time. We could feel that things
That's
were
right.
Shifting.
because people would come to the gigs and you guys were great on Hey It's Saturday, or you guys
Yeah.
were great on whatever TV show. So the word was getting out there. We were a well sought after band, especially for support gigs. The big industry functions. So it was good. We could feel that something was happening.
Yeah.
And we were just embracing it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so what happened after that? Did you all continue to grow and spike, and you all did the videos, music videos? Did it continue to evolve, and when did it start to taper off or slow down?
Well, we got the recording contract.
Yeah.
So that was the big one.
And that's for your vinyl as
No,
well?
this was when we went to the States
Yep,
to
yep.
record. So that was...
We did an independent little cassette before. Like a mix, what they call a mixtape.
Yep.
Yeah, so we put that as a part of our CV
Yeah.
to put us out there. And apparently it was seen and I think they were the Adlers, the group
That's
that,
right.
yeah, that sort of took notice of us, and they said, guys, we want to sign you guys up. We're going to get you all a recording contract in
In
America.
the States.
Yeah.
In the
Amazing.
States. And it's going to be great. You guys are going to have fun. You've got such a good concept. You'll, so much energy on stage. You're beautiful people. What do you think? Yeah.
So you flew to the States to record?
Yes. So we flew to the States. This was 90.
Maybe 80. No.
No,
It was 90.
early 90s.
93? 92,
Yeah,
93.
92.
Yeah.
So we flew over, and that whole journey was just surreal.
Living in
We had to pinch ourselves because we just couldn't
Los
believe that was
Angeles, yeah.
happening.
Amazing.
Los Angeles.
Studio City, where all the musicians are.
And
my goodness.
they were happy to bring the families over. So
I remember.
yeah, you guys
We
were
were there.
The little
Yeah.
babies.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So that whole experience of being in the States, recording, doing these showcases, where
And meeting these
meeting these
people.
George Duke, Rod
industry
Temperton,
people, that was just mind
just
blowing.
something I never thought that we'd get to that point. But I think that was the actual turning point.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because I think you can consider once you get a contract, Warner Brothers in the States, you kind of made it.
Yeah.
Whatever else happens after that,
Happens. Yeah.
you there. And that was a very, very wonderful experience. as
Yeah.
far as- That would be the pinnacle of our musical career.
Career. Yeah.
For sure.
What was that place where we did the, what do they call it, when you perform for
Showcase,
producers?
yeah.
Showcase. What was it? That was a pretty
Roxy.
famous, that's right.
The Roxy.
Roxy. Roxy.
So performed at the Roxy, you
Yeah.
did your showcase.
Oh,
Did you all record the album or an album while you were there?
So we recorded the
went-
album the second time in
Yeah.
it. So we went
Yeah.
to the States the first time to promote ourselves, to get everything signed and
Yep.
organized. We came back, and then once that recording contract, the
Signed
solid
and
recording
sealed.
contract, album number 1,
Yep.
once that was done, then we flew to New York,
Amazing.
Yeah.
and we recorded in Brooklyn
Yeah.
with a producer called Daddy-O.
Daddy-O. Kidar, Massenberg.
Yeah. So yeah, that was.
I think Kidar's the head of Motown now.
Yeah, he's moved up. He's
so.
done
Wow.
well.
Yeah.
So they looked after us there. We stayed in Brooklyn Heights. It was a beautiful apartment that we had,
It was lovely.
just in the heart of New York.
Amazing.
Just enjoying
Yeah.
life.
Enjoying life, doing
Yeah.
what you loved,
Yeah.
making music with your
Yeah.
family, with your siblings. How amazing! Can't get better than that.
No.
Oh no.
As good as it gets.
Yeah.
We'd be picked up in the morning. We go record. They'll drop us off in the evening. Feed us. Tickets to different shows.
Amazing.
Just unreal.
Sing la 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 la. Sing ay ay ay. Yo 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 yo. Sing la 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 la. Sing ay ay ay. Yo 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 yo. Oh, sing la 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 la. Ay ay ay. Oh yo yo yo. Sing la 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 la. you very much. Girls can move it, y'all. Yeah. Thank you. Now, I want to see some hands go like this. Yo, girls, let's rap for these people out here tonight. 1, 2, people in the party.
Hot, hot, hot.
People in the party.
Hot, hot, hot.
All the party people say.
Feeling hot.
All the party people say.
Feeling hot.
You see we hit it from the top.
Cause you're feeling hot.
You know we hit it from the top.
Cause you're feeling hot.
You see they come to the party.
You know what they got.
Yo, they come to the party.
You know what they got.
It says, you're hot, I'm hot. He's hot, she's hot. You're hot, I'm hot. He's hot, she's hot. Oh, the party people are
Feeling hot, yeah.
Oh, the party people are
Feeling hot.
Yeah, we're hot. Yeah, we're hot. Yep, we're hot. Higher, we're hot. Here we go now. Yeah, we are.